Thank you.
Groovy. Okay. We have a computer can wake up. We have a joint statement to read, signed by several people, including the three of us. This was carefully evaluated and a long time in coming, and I think that we felt that we had to put it together and put it out there. So we're going to read off the 5 paragraphs, one each of us. So, as the content creators of the OccupyMN Facebook page and Twitter, we can no longer share a content process and resources with Occupy Homes MN effective immediately. While it is laudable to work on housing issues, we cannot reconcile a working process with this commercialized group any further.
We are in a unique position where we must block our further participation in a feedback loop of public promotion and private stipends, message shaping, and fundraising. Since unlike any other known Occupy group, Occupy Homes Minnesota demands cash payments for what is an otherwise egalitarian participation process. There is no way we can resolve our differences under those terms.
Many of us helped create, volunteered with, and were arrested with Occupy Homes until unethical tactics serving the goal of evolution into a profitable non-governmental organization achieved dominance. We're sorry that our pages have not been able to be used to defend our friends and discuss the truth about these harmful hierarchical tactics, including censorship and banning volunteers from the listserv for speaking out.
Additionally, we cannot work with or accept messages that promote classist tactics on the most vulnerable in our society, such as the chemically dependent homeless who were attacked as drug house rot in recent PR campaign material. So we wish them well, but we must have our own space which does not operate on a commercially oriented basis. This is signed Dan Fight, TB,
Me.
Cointel Lulz,
April Strike,
Liz Dahl, and Dingane Zaba, also known as D. That is our complete statement. We resume speaking as individuals. I will say for myself that I mulled this over for a very long time, but felt that it was important to make a change, and we could not. I could not participate in the process which has existed until now. So I would like to turn it over to possibly a discussion. If people want to do that, it's up to you guys. Thank you.
We are going to stop on this, please, so there's no outburst of any against or whatever.
So can you just give me a summary of what the actual effect you're breaking ties with?
Yes. It's really not that large of a change. It just signifies that basically 2 URLs, facebook.com/OccupyMN and twitter.com/OccupyMN, no longer have a joint editorial process with Occupy Homes. That's really all it means. It is a significant change, maybe not in the cosmic scale of things, but it is something that I felt that had to be done. Yes?
Yeah, because before you were posting their events and stuff on OccupyMN, right? And their
Nick Espinoza has been one of the content editors or creators. Like he's had permission to post there, and that has been removed.
Okay, and one other question. This statement that you guys just read, are you going to post that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And have they been informed, or they're going to be informed when
they will be, yes.
They've pulled hijinks in the past, including, like we said, censoring people, changing passwords and stuff like that, so we couldn't risk losing access to the pages we created. Since right now they've already been pretty much taken over as just shout boxes for Occupy Homes when it wasn't intended to be like that in the first place.
I just wanted to say this has been going on for
Everybody.
it's been an ongoing thing, battles, meetings, all this, and like, I applaud you, by the way, for actually beating the horse down.
Thank you.
And finally doing something about it.
It's
So.
massively overdue.
About 2 years. Anyway.
So my question was, has this split been fairly friendly, or is there, as to how it will affect the interaction of the groups, or does it just feel like a technical change, or is it?
I would say it's a technical change. I mean, it's basically been operating as 2 different groups for a while now, so I don't see how this is I don't think this is really stepping on anybody's toes in any big way. It's just isolating things and putting the labels where they need to belong, I think.
And
that makes sense.
And they have their own Twitter and Facebook page, you know, and they have their own fans, and we're not affecting any of that whatsoever. We're just saying that we can't have a joint editorial process, in my view, you know, because there's a feedback loop going on, because there's stuff like private stipends, because there's attacks on chemically dependent homeless people in their PR literature. Essentially, the three words I would say is commercialization, classism, and censorship. Those are the three, and that's totally at odds with the principles of why I've been involved with Occupy, and I can't tolerate it anymore.
I just want to speak to the topic of censorship by Occupy Homes MN. I am one of the people that was censored, and I was a strong supporter of Occupy Homes. I defended the Cruz House without fail and showed up whenever called upon to do so. And yet, when I made a post on Occupy Homes MN Facebook page, because they kept inviting me to events and things after I had requested that I be taken off of all their lists. And I asked on their page, you know, please remove me, and this is why I want to be removed, because you've become a membership organization. These are my reasons. Please remove me from all your lists. And rather than just saying, okay, we'll take care of it, they blocked me from, they removed my post, deleted the entire conversation thread there, and blocked me from the page. And yet they still continue to this day to call me at my home, invite me to things, and so on. So, you know, they censored my voice there after I supported them.
Any more? Yeah, I would just like to, I'm a member of Occupy Homes, and a respectful member of this group too. And I, just in the defense of the, I wouldn't justify the language that they used in regard to the people who had been occupying the house. But knowing that the dynamics of the neighborhood in regard to that house, that once we canvassed all of the neighbors, they felt that it was really a dangerous place. It was full of broken glass. The house was devastated and totally wrecked inside. It's a really nice house. And it took Occupy Homes a lot of time and effort to clean it up to a kind of bearable level. So I think that the upshot of it was that there was a lot of feeling amongst the neighbors, as well as Occupy Homes, that the people who had been in that house were really disrespectful people. The fact that they were selling drugs out of there, apparently, that's what I'm hearing, was frightening to the neighbors. So, I mean, if they used hyperbole in describing these people, I guess I could understand it.
Okay. Homeless and drug-addicted person, I go with your take.
Thank you.
Tricia?
I don't agree with censorship, and I don't agree with rude, disrespectful processes and how other people have been treated on the page. For example, I've tried to post things on the page that were totally relevant to this movement, and they were automatically removed. Mm-hmm. And now this stuff is very critical. Okay? On OccupyMN. No, I mean, I'm not holding you accountable for it, okay? I'm not pointing fingers. I'm saying I'm happy that the change has been made. Since that change has been made, I tested it, and my post was not removed, so thank you. I just wanted to put that out there, and that sometimes these things happen. This is how movements grow. Believe it or not, you know, this is how movements grow. Some go out to the right, some go out to the left, some go forward, you know. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's separate. It's just that it's growing, and it's going in different directions, and that's all that it is. It has a different focus, and it has a different direction. But I do not agree. When any time money comes into any movement, it corrupts it. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't care how they defend it. I don't care what they say about it. But when it comes to money, money corrupts every single time. And I've been a part of so many movements over the years to see how that happens. And it definitely corrupts the ego.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm just going to add something really quick to that. There was like really some people on admin for like Facebook, Twitter, all of the sites and all. It was ridiculous. It was a shitstorm. And like all the meetings that we had was like, oh, cut this person, cut this person, cut this person, right? So then it was down to like 5 less. So on and so forth down the line. It just kept, you know, it get bigger, smaller. People keep adding people. That was the problem. So that's why this is important. This is good, and it should stay this way. So anyway.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I don't need to know all the details. I just want to let Dan and Sam know I've watched you for a long time, and I trust your judgment.
Yay.
Thanks.
And look forward to closing down our Twitter and our Facebook page and relying on a web page, because Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan definitely don't need our support.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I would just, is anybody else on SAC?
There's nobody else on staff
Okay.
that's actually cut this off.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Or
But the website
maybe
stuff
just
is going to
adding-
get straightened out, and that's a
I've been
major
thinking about
important goal
something to say.
That's what's going
of getting away out of corporate dependency. Yeah, sorry.
Can we take like a temperature check how many
Well,
minutes
let's
we
let
want?
Ziggy
Okay.
say something quick here.
Yeah, basically, I have nothing against what Occupy Homes does, but I've been against their methods for quite a long time. You know, the censorship and you know, partnering with certain political groups and et cetera, et cetera. I can't post on their Facebook for who knows how long. Now, granted, I'm kind of an internet troll, as I'm sure. But, you know, I don't just flat out start, you know, throwing spears until, you know, I'm genuinely angry. And so not only can I not post, but the other day, Michael Kavlin, who I'm sure some of you might be familiar with, he made a really nice post on their wall, and it was followed by something that Liz Dahl had said about, you know, how they have membership dues and blah, 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 blah. And that was removed, and then they proceeded to, like, just, you know, word it so that he was wrong in his statement, and they, you know, and people are saying, well, I've been paying dues for this long and this long, so blah, 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 blah. And what it all comes down to is they don't want dissenting opinions. And they're using censorship to kind of counteract that, so it's only their side that's getting told, and that's not part of a horizontal structure at all. So there was my piece.
Okay, does anyone?
I think, I sense a consensus that we think this is a good thing, that we all agree with y'all's statement.
Yeah, let's.
Can I make one? Wait, and
Or supplement.
what I would like to say, I understand all the things that you're saying, and I think that you have a legitimate point of view.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But at the same time, I guess, as a person who has really had an instinct of try to keep the entities of Occupy as much in sync as possible, at least to have some respect for the cohesion of what I think was a magnificent idea, and which, you know, is still pretty darn viable to me. We're all kind of going in the same direction. I just don't want to see us ever bogged down and start fighting among ourselves when we really are trying to go in the same empowering direction for the, you know, the 99%. So, yeah, sometimes we screw up and do things in ways that offend each other and so on, but I really still hold to the principle that we're moving in the same direction with all of these young people and all of our entities. So that's just...
Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree with that, and I wouldn't have supported this if I didn't think that it in some way kind of helps that cause go along. Because it doesn't eliminate solidarity. It doesn't mean I'm still not going to participate when I can and all that. But it just means that we're just like putting the labels where they need to go for the sake of it functioning properly. So
Okay, so we made an agreement that this is good. We're done. Chuck. You are court and global warming.